Hey guys, Brian Schroeder here with Buyers Club. I'm with Justin Dassey with Ballpoint Marketing here. Justin, our group is a bunch of real estate investors. So talk to our audience about what kind of services you provide to the
Yeah,
real estate investor.
yeah. So we do direct mail marketing, and that's the boring explanation. But really, what we do is we help you get better leads in your business,
Yeah.
and that's what everybody needs is
Yeah.
leads. You got to close stuff. You need those leads. So
Yep.
we were the first company in real estate actually to offer handwritten direct mail, and so we have a huge base of customers that do handwritten direct mail. But we've also started introducing printed products as well that come down at a little bit of a lower price for people that are wanting to send out more mail or are more budget conscious at the beginning. But we do everything from postcards, letters, business cards very, very shortly by the time this goes out. Probably be
Okay.
good. But be able to do that, some flyers and print material, pretty much full house print shop at this point.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you help them with leads? Can you help them with deciding who to mail to, that type of
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, good question. So all of our communication with the customer starts at who we're targeting. So people can bring their list. Like if they have that, totally fine, we'll use that. But if not, we can pull the data for you. So if you know, hey, I want to be in this zip code or this county, and I want this style of house, under 300,000 is kind of, especially in St. Louis, a good number where people like to stay.
Yeah.
We can help target that list. And the thing that we do a lot differently from going to PropStream or ListSource and pulling your absentee with equity list is we like to pull a lot of niche lists first that people tend to shy away from just because it takes time.
Yep.
And business owners are lazy.
Yep.
They want the easy shortcut. So we work on actually pulling that data first for you and incorporate things like bankruptcies, active and dismissed bankruptcies, liens, probates, pre-foreclosures, any type of niche data we can find. And then what we do is we supplement that data with the absentee data.
Okay.
So we'll help them get a good basis of where to go, and then based on their budget, direct them to the product that we think is going to work best for them.
Gotcha.
So if someone's like, hey, I can only spend $1,000, okay,
Yep.
cool. Here's where you're going to get the highest response rate. Let's focus on this product first.
Yep.
Versus someone that maybe wants to send 20,000 pieces.
Yep.
Here's a cheaper product so you can target way more people.
Yep.
And then that kind of evens out at that point.
So it sounds like your company's pretty set up to where you can work with the more newer investor that's got a lower budget versus somebody that's a bigger company that's got a bigger budget. You do everybody in between?
Yeah, everything. We've got people that spend $400 a month.
Okay.
And probably even less than that, up to like 80,000 a month, and kind of everything in between.
That pretty much covers the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Do you have any stats or whatever on how many pieces you got to mail to get a lead versus pieces to get a buy or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We focus a lot on cost per acquisition.
Okay.
It's something we look at and what we talk to our customers about. So the best way to look at it is like a major metro. So like your Denvers, your LAs, your Chicagos, big places like that. You're going to spend $7,500 to $10,000 to get a deal, typically right now. You get to more of a secondary market like a St. Louis or Des Moines, Iowa, just some of those under 1.5 million people or so. You're like $4,000 to $5,000, something in there. And then if you get to more like suburbs, rural areas, depending on the area, anywhere from like $2,000 to $4,000.
Okay.
So it's kind of dependent on where you're at, but the smaller your market is, typically the less competition you're going to have, and that cost goes down a little bit because it's less saturated with mail.
Gotcha.
But those are kind of like the three different types of markets we look at when we're talking to people to see where they're at and give them an estimate of expect between here.
Yeah, that gives you an idea if I'm going to spend $2,000 a month, how many potential buys I could get off of a direct mail marketing campaign.
Yeah, and like you said, it's repeatable and scalable.
Yeah.
And it lets you, after like 6 months is kind of the testing phase we always like to give people. Hey, if I want 3 deals a month, I need to spend this amount of money. If I want 1 deal a month, I need to spend this. And you can kind of engineer your business based off of what you're seeing in your data.
Yeah. Love it. So let's talk a little bit about your different services for just a sec. So you mentioned that you do handwritten letters. So do you got like a bunch of people sitting in your back room just writing letters?
No, that's I have a friend's company that started that way, but no. So we have little robots that hold pens. Yeah, they're about this big. We program them, and they hold an actual ballpoint pen and write the letters and postcards. So They're all merged in, so if you want to be specific to the name and address and everything, that's all merged in there and handwritten.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think about like Elon Musk has got like Optimus, these robots and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have Optimus robots
No,
yet,
they're
do you?
not that smart. They're not that smart. If they take a little SD card, the same one this camera takes,
Yeah.
and if that's not in there, they don't do anything.
Okay.
So they're not that smart.
And you can't talk to them?
I mean, you can, but they're not going to talk back.
Okay. All right, so you got your handwritten letters, and I guess you do the handwritten postcards too?
Yep, postcards
Okay.
and letters. Yeah, those are the two main ones.
And then you got print stuff too, where you can print letters and you can print postcards.
Yep.
And I assume the printed product is probably what, half price or?
At least, yeah.
So
yeah, we're talking like printed postcards as low as like 52, 53 cents.
yeah.
Where written postcards are 80 to 85 cents.
Okay.
And then letters are $1.50, $1.75, sometimes less than that, just depending on where you're at. But those printed postcards, and we do a hybrid product where it's mostly printed with a quick little, hey, give me a call, and then it has the phone number written, so it's not taking as much time on those machines, and we can get a lot more out.
And I guess the reason for the handwritten is, you know, your mail piece is only as effective as if somebody actually opens it and reads it. So the idea behind the handwritten piece is it's more likely to get opened and read.
Yeah, well, you own a lot of rentals.
Yes.
So you probably get a lot of mail. People want to buy your rentals. Do they all look the same mostly?
No, they look way different.
Yeah. So that's the main reason is we want that mail to stand out.
Yeah.
So like we have a common theme. I'm an investor in St. Louis too, and the deal we just closed, he had a stack of postcards and letters this big, and he showed us ours. He's like, I called you guys because this was written.
It stuck out.
Yep, it stuck out. The creative was different, and it had a handwritten message on it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more pricey, but if you want to stand out above and beyond everybody else, that's why we do that. But then we did also introduce those printed products as well for people that are just trying to get started or maximize their budget.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think everybody's got a pretty good idea of what you do, Justin. It's an awesome service to the real estate investing community. I always like to end these videos with, do you got like an interesting real estate investing or interesting Ballpoint Marketing story? Just something crazy that happened in your business?
Yeah, actually, when we started Ballpoint Marketing, you were a part of it.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, but this is not our first company. So I got a call in October of 2019 from my brother who started the company, and he's like, hey, this business is in Indianapolis. The guy who's running it is stealing from me. He has employees on payroll that don't work there.
Yep.
And do you want to bring that business to St. Louis? So we're like, okay, we'll go do that. And he's like, oh, by the way, the guy's always armed. So we had to drive out on my anniversary weekend with a U-Haul, pick up all these machines with the sheriff there the entire time because this guy had caused some problems in the past. And on my way back, I texted you and was like, hey, I need a space for these. Do you have anything? And you're like, I actually do. You want to move in on Monday? I was like, this is perfect.
Let's do it.
So that was an interesting thing because the guy was there the entire time, just mean mugging us the whole time of us pulling these machines out with the cop sitting there watching him. So that was a fun way to start it.
Business is a fascinating journey, isn't
it? It is. I never thought I'd be doing mail, but here I am.
Well, thanks, Justin. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.